So we are at Dexafit today. I'm super excited to do my VO2 Max testing to get a better understanding of my heart rate, my max aerobic heart rate, my threshold, my max heart rate, all my different training zones. It's going to be an interesting training session today.
Right, so for today, we're gonna be doing the Rocky Balboa. That's what we like to call it. So it is the advanced treadmill protocol, okay? So what it's gonna happen is that the speed is gonna be changing every 2.5 minutes. On top of that, at the same time, the incline is gonna be going up as well. So what's happening is that you're gonna be running, just focus on your breathing, try as hard as you can. Every 2.5 minutes, I'm gonna be making those changes for you, okay? Now, I'm gonna be giving you a heads up about a minute before and then about 15-20 seconds before I actually make the change, okay? So 2-minute warm-up exercise. You're gonna last as long as you can. So it may be different for everybody. Could be your calves, your quads, your arms, your breathing. Listen to your body. I'm gonna be in contact with you, telling you what's going on, where you are at. I'll try to encourage you to keep on going, okay? Especially as your VO2 is still going up, I wanna encourage you to keep it up. But as you can see, there are so many stages. Go as much as you can. After that, you can decide to stop, and we're gonna do a 2-minute cool down. The other way to stop the test is if I see that your VO2 is plateauing or dropping for about a minute or so. I'll let you know of that, okay? But if you're still able to bring it up, I'll try to encourage you to continue as much as we can, okay? We're gonna be wearing a couple things. First one is the mask, okay? So the sensor, which is this one, the umbilical cord, will be connected onto the tube right here. The nose piece is really important. Once you put the mask on, you're gonna press against it so it's sitting against the nose so we prevent any air from escaping. We want that sensor to collect everything and send it to the cart, okay? Has Velcro, so you can attach it behind the head and the neck, okay? All right, now the next thing we're gonna be wearing is the chest monitor, okay? I'm gonna put this on. We're gonna make sure that it's nice and tight, and it's gonna be collecting the information for your heart rate. Alrighty?
Great.
All right.
So what information are you going to get from this test for me?
So this test will provide you obviously with the VO2 max along with the heart rate when you meet that VO2 max. The next we're going to talk about anaerobic threshold, basically when we start focusing mainly on carbohydrates as a main source of energy. And I will have that VO2 and the heart rate for that. Then it will be your recovery. First minute and second minute of your recovery. So it'll just be your heart rate, okay? Then we'll talk about the 4 zones. It is different for everybody. We have 4 zones. Fat burning zone, zone 2, 3, and then your power or peak, which is really important for the VO2.
Great.
So we'll talk about those.
So if you could zoom in here a little bit, she had 2 boxers last week and they couldn't hit the highest level of this. The max, she will potentially take me to 11 miles per hour, a 430-mile pace at a 9.5% incline. So I don't know about all that, but we'll see if we could hit it. So I'm gonna finish up carbon up here and then hit this.
Sounds good.
So once you stop, the test is done, right?
Yes.
Like, so say like I had to go to the bathroom or something. You gotta redo it, the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I will have to get you to actually rest for 24 hours before we can do it again. Because what's gonna happen is, say you stop when you're almost at the end of a test.
Yeah.
We already depleted muscle glycogen. It's really important, so we need to restore that level of glycogen. So we have to redo it. Have you rest and then jump at it right again.
And as I'm learning more about nutrition, I actually listened to a good podcast last week, the Nick Bare podcast, about how much carbohydrates you could store in your liver versus when you start storing within your muscles. So all my levels are topped off. I carved up last night. I'm carbing up with some liquid carbohydrates before this. I'll use the bathroom and start warming up.
Just leave it on.
It's okay, I have my shirt off. I'm sorry, I just took it off.
Don't worry about it. If that didn't happen, I would be in the wrong business. Same thing with sweat.
Yeah. Just for my, make sure I get this on Strava.
I always have cat hair, so I hope you're an allergic.
Of what?
Of cats.
Oh, no.
Alrighty, here you go. Go ahead and put it on.
You want it super tight, or do you kind
It'll
of
be
want it?
tight, but I'll put this on right now so you don't have to worry about it just yet. Okay. And I'll put it here on top of this one. How's that? Still good? Let me give you some more room here.
You look like Bane.
I always get that one. I knew that was gonna happen. All right, technology. Let's give it a little wiggle here. For the warm up, you're gonna choose your speed. Just don't go any faster than 3 miles per hour so you can decide, okay? So go ahead and click on quick start. Heart rate, we're starting with 73. All right. 2 minutes. Like I said, always complete communication with you. Just focus on the breathing. Focus on your body. How you are. Obviously, we're just starting with a warm up, so you're using mainly fats, using mainly oxygen. Heart rate is nice and low, and VO2 will be as well. Eventually, it will jump up, and I'll let you know how that is going. Right. Heart rate is up to 90. We got about 1 more minute and 5 seconds to go for the first stage. You will be at 5 miles per hour and incline will be 0.5. I'll make that change for you. All right. Nice, easy start. Almost there. Now, whenever you feel like you're done, grab onto the sides and jump out to the sides. Then you can press on pull down. Or if you need me to do it for you, wave at me, let me know somehow, and I'll come and press up for you. I'll bring down the speed and the incline. During the test, I'll start with the incline and then I'll continue with the speed every change I make. Okay? Speed 5, here I go. Alrighty, let's get it started. Heart rate is jumping up to 106. VO2, we're starting with 13. We're still using a lot of fats, lots of oxygen so far. Just keep on breathing for me. 2 minutes and a half here. Good. All right, VO2 is still going up. We are at 15.2. All right, beautiful. Keep on breathing here. Looking good. You're almost at 20 in your VO2, almost there. You're at 19.8. Heart rate is 135. All right, already in the 20s. Here we go, 24.2. We got 1 more minute, 25 seconds. Okie doke, in 1 minute, 5 seconds. Speed will be 6, incline will be 2. Almost there, 10 seconds. All right, 52-8. Try to hang on, breathe, engage that core. I still see it up. One more minute. Oh. Awesome. All right, let me breathe. Recover. All right. Your peak heart rate, 180. You are there. 11 seconds. Yeah. If you were able to sustain it enough for the cards, I think you got to 53, which is, I think you're better than about the level of the 20-year-olds. This is good. You're close to the 13-year-olds. Close. We got 1 minute and 7 seconds. Heart rate is down to 154. This is good. So what's important is to sustain, 1330.
Thank you.
31, 51. Thank you so much. And 126. Now let me look for your carbs. You did it pretty late on the exercise, like really late, which is good.
Okay.
This is a good one.
So I was tapping into my fats first, and then the carbohydrates.
You
But again, I can only store a certain amount of carbs. I can store more fats, right?
Correct. We have unlimited amounts of energy coming from fats, not from carbohydrate. Okay, 180 and 53.6. That's your VO2 max. Awesome.
Almost. Almost there.
Almost. Oh shoot. What was your year of?
Oh yeah, 89.
Why
Oh
not?
yeah, I'm in the superior.
You're definitely in the superior dirt. But I don't know why I put to it 2023. Alrighty, let's look for yours. Alrighty. Okay, so VO2 max, 53.6. Okay, when you got to that VO2 max, heart rate was 180. Okay, putting you still in superior, which is awesome. Now, anaerobic threshold, like I said earlier, we're starting to use the carbohydrates as a main source of energy and a limited source. You started with your VO2 of 49.1 and the heart rate was 176. So as you can see, they're pretty close to each other. This shows pretty often on athletes, okay? They're well trained. It happens later on. This is what we want, especially for your marathon, especially for your ultra marathon. We want this to happen later on, okay? Now, recovery, 151 for the first minute and then 126 for the second minute. This is also great because I do look for at least 12 beats of difference at the end of every minute. This shows good recovery for people and it's been shown in research. So we always look for that. So this is good. Now, this is zone 1. Basically your fat burning zone. And I will go like this because it really depends on the individual. This is zone 2. Ton of research here. Especially coming from cardiologists, suggested always to be at that level anyway, okay? Zone 3, I don't really talk too much about it, especially because it's fun. Peak zone, this is the one to help you out with bringing this guy even higher, okay? And obviously the anaerobic threshold as well. So that's what we want. This one, not recommended to do too often throughout your whole week. Couple of reasons. You need overtraining. I wanna let you know that when we do a lot of overtraining, the VO2 can get worse as well as anaerobic threshold. So we want to prevent that. So we say train smarter, not harder. Okay. So this one once, no more than twice a week, and it can be as long as 30 minutes. It could be 4 minutes, or you can do sprint training, which is what I usually recommend people to do. Sprint training, about 30 seconds, keeping your heart rate in this range, and then slow it down. Either jog very lightly or walk for about a minute or two. Recover.
Hear more, which is funny because with the formula it was a 147, and I was assuming it was going to be higher because I've always been an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, boxing, I get my heart rate up there, so actually I need to go lower.
Yes.
To 144.
You do.
In order to increase my zone 2 more.
And what happens with those formulas, obviously they're just general information. They could be 10 plus minus.
Yeah.
So there's that big difference. 10 plus minus is a big difference.
Yeah.
So it can vary for everybody.
Wow.
For yours
okay.
is not huge, but still, those 3 beats make a difference here.
Huge.
Now, I talked to you earlier about the fat burning zone, and I went like this because obviously we already talked about carbohydrates. Okay, this is when you're hitting carbohydrates. And if we look at your zones, you're basically using carbohydrates at the peak. Typical for athletes. Okay, meaning this is your fat burning zone, this one is, and this one is. It's just so easy.
Which is that's cool to see because once I started hitting the peaks, the zone 4, I was like, man, I do feel a little too depleted, so I probably should have had carbohydrates this morning. Versus going strong with it last night, I should have done a little bit more in the morning. So that's a good baseline to test for next time too.
And it's still a really beautiful VO2 overall.
Great.
A lot of, especially my athletes, but a lot of my male clients want to hit VO2 max of at least 50. That's where you are
Got it. And we
That's
hit
always the goal,
53.6.
53.6.
Got it. And what's the highest it should get before? I mean, there's no really a highest, right?
Yeah, the highest I've had in my career so far is 58.
Oh, okay.
So you're not too far off.
Okay.
And this was a kid.
Well, it was a kid?
It was a kid. He was like
Incredible.
21.
Incredible. What was his sport?
Boxing. I was a boxer.
Great.
Yeah, 58.
Great. This is great,
Awesome.
great information right here. So at 176, I'm tapping into those carbohydrates. So I know if I'm hitting that 176, like I'm gonna start bulking soon because I can't store that many carbs.
Correct.
Wow, good to know.
Awesome. Any questions for me? Any other
No,
concerns?
this is everything I needed. So we'll be back in about 10 weeks after this training block and seeing where we're at from there.
Yeah, awesome.